Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you guys are in the world, whatever time it is where you're at. This is for Aries or Aries cross watcher. We're going to go ahead and get a message today. It's actually been really hard to get this message out, and I don't mean for any other reason than I went to start it and I realized I had to go do something. Went to start it again and then had to get up and go do something. Started again, get up and go do something. Started again and then my alarm went off and I had to go do something. Just, seems like a lot of dragging, okay? A lot of dragging things out. So whoever this is going to resonate for, whether you or another person connected to you somehow, I'm picking up on an energy today for my fellow Aries out there, or the cross watchers here, whoever this is, where an individual is extremely tired of something dragging out. Something seems to constantly be taking its time. You no sooner go to do something, you get ready to do something, you're ready to go, you're ready to do it, and then pause, break, lots of having to stop, go. It's like red light, green light, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. That's what it feels like. Now, okay, I'm seeing somebody in a vehicle. Maybe someone here needs new brakes, or someone has very sensitive brakes, so it's like you barely tap on them and it's like, oh, your whole body gets pushed forward, stop, go, or it's like running behind or putting things off. It just, again, dragging out. That's the vibe in today's message. I'm also hearing drag race. It's almost like a period of long suffering, constant suffering, or constant pause and waiting and setbacks almost. That's what it feels like. Now, this could be in relationships, this could be in finances, it could be in health. It just feels like there's always setbacks. Now, if you're not resonating with this, another person feels this way, that they no sooner get ready to do something and lo and behold, something stops them or prolongs the process or keeps something from happening. They have to wait longer. It's just frustrating. It's a frustrating energy here. Now, it could just be because at least where I'm at in the States, a lot of people during this time are celebrating different holidays, not just Christmas. There's a lot of holidays in December, and so a lot of people are celebrating things, and it's a lot of movement. So maybe people are just feeling like there's so much to do, so little time, and it's like, oh, last minute, almost like there's last minute things, or I think I'm done, I think I'm good to go, but oh, nope, wait, it's, I definitely can sense somebody's ready to move past this energy, and that's totally understandable, ready to get the ball rolling, no sooner move ahead, and then just tired of it. Some of you may feel that you have experienced constant hard lessons, that everywhere you turn, every person you have a connection with, everywhere you go, many decisions that you make, if not all of them, lead to some sort of hard learned lesson. And it can get to a point where you're exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, where you're like, maybe you second guess all your steps, you don't trust your decisions, and you're kind of like, I can only be so careful without just not even living my life. You no sooner are like, okay, I'm gonna come out of my little shell, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to commit to something, and then what happens, right? Something happens to where here you go learning a lesson from it. And I mean, I guess that never ends though, guys. It doesn't really end until our lives on this earth end. We're always going to learn hard lessons. We're always going to have some sort of lesson to learn. I think that's why we're here. Otherwise, what are we doing? But I totally relate as to the fact that it can be really taxing on a person, It's really taxing to push through when it seems, no matter how hard you do, no matter how organized you are, no matter how certain you are, no matter how focused you are, there's this level of something standing in your way, or energies that don't want you to run smoothly, or your plans, your ideas, your responsibility. They don't want things to run smoothly. And It can get to where you just want to throw your hands up and not connect at all, not make decisions at all, not move forward. So whoever's experiencing that, I would say, is going through a rather rough time. You know, it's like some days feeling rather good or content. I would say good is probably the right word, because it doesn't seem very spectacular and it doesn't seem bad. It just seems like meh, you know, like meh. It's just meh. You know, you're grateful to be alive. You're grateful every single day to wake up. You come from a place of, I'm glad I'm still here, but like, I'm getting tired of this, you know, that's the vibe. It's like, I'm tired of trusting. I'm tired of opening up. I'm tired. You may even feel very tired during this time. You may be like, I'm just gonna keep close to home. Like, again, I keep seeing the vision of somebody in a vehicle, a truck, a car, whatever vehicle, and either the brakes are really sensitive or somebody's needing brakes here, or it's just the idea of that, you know what I mean? You might prefer to just stay close to home, so to speak, or not venture too far out, or not make really big decisions, or, you know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that somebody is exhausted of just things not running smoothly, things not going as planned. And that's just rather, you know, it's negative. It's negative to bring today, especially during this time. But again, what is this time? Not everybody celebrates the same holidays. Not everybody has the same New Year, right? Everybody's saying New Year is coming, but what is New Year? What is time? What is any of that? Somebody's going through self-awareness during this time. You can call it an awakening. You can call it a dark night of the soul. Definitely. I can fully feel it. I can pick up on it, and it's just the air feels thick. It feels heavy. It feels dense, like a dense fog. It's hard to see through, to feel your way through, find your way through. At least right now. Not everybody's experiencing this, but whoever I'm picking up on in this message, either you are or somebody connected to you is kind of, they're struggling. I don't know if they're wearing that on the outside, if they're showing it, or if you are, but it's definitely there. The presence of complete exhaustion, total exhaustion in all forms is definitely on someone. I'm hearing beholden. What does beholden mean?
Here's the definition of beholden. Owing thanks or having a duty to someone in return for help or a service.
I think this could be the word beholden, which I've never heard. I just came through. I don't know where that came from, but when I'm looking here on the internet, it says owing thanks. And the example is in a sentence. It says, I don't like to be beholden to anybody. So I think this can be used in a positive way and both a negative way. Maybe someone here feels they are in debt to another. It could either be that someone feels they're in debt to another or others in general, or they are actually. You know, it's like, it's almost like if you make a contract of some sort. Now, it doesn't have to be illegal or anything like that, but I'm just going to give this example. The idea of beholden, I would guess, due to the internet, is you're bound. You're bound by some sort of agreement. You're bound by some sort of law, bound by some sort of promise. It's just the idea of, I want out, but I can't get out. And some of you, I don't know if this is you actually. Now, you could be experiencing just the setbacks, you know, and even the mental, physical, spiritual exhaustion, but I don't know, guys. I'm kind of feeling like this is external. This could be someone, it's like their energy is pointed towards you. Maybe someone feels that they are, something's keeping them from moving your direction, making some sort of approach, or something kept them, past tense, from doing this, but they know they have to. This could even be, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but I'm getting an example. You know, when you have children with somebody, you may feel beholden to them because it's like, well, I have to talk to them, or I have to, you know, interact with them because we share a child or children together. It's like somebody doesn't want to be connected to what they're connected to, or they don't want to be connected to who they're connected to. Maybe someone is wanting to pursue you, could be romantically, and they can't because they have another energy that's holding them back, you know? So it's just a lot of, I want to, but I can't, or I want to, but I can, just not right now. Like, I don't want to have to go because I promised them, or I don't want to have to stay because I committed to this. I don't want to have to wait, but I already said I would. I already signed the dotted line. I already paid, so I have to do this. I already created life, so I have to, you know, something like that. And what happens to a person, a human being, a person, a spirit inside of a human body, the taxi, which brings us through this life, gets us through this life? What happens to a being when they feel trapped? This is traps. This is someone who feels obligated to prior commitments, obligated to prior people, obligated to prior responsibilities. What happens? Resentment. Someone's building resentment. I don't know if this is you or another, but I definitely pick it up. It's like I'm a bit resentful because I feel like I'm being forced now. Although if somebody sits here and thinks about it, they, you know, I don't think someone's like, woe is me. I don't get a vibe of woe is me. I totally understand the frustration. But I do get that someone's thinking, I will never make this fucking mistake again. I will never make this mistake again. Trust and believe. Or I'll never make this decision again. I'll think harder next time. I'll think twice. Because it could be someone who feels like they're trapped in a marriage because they've, you know, it's legal. It's like a legally binding contract. It could feel like, okay, say somebody's buying a home. It may not be anything like that, but let's say someone's buying a home. Maybe they have a realtor and they're under contract and they're like, damn, I have to stay with this realtor because but it's like, I'll never do that again, you know? Maybe someone feels bound. It's just like a binding. It's very controlling. It's very confining. It's like, oh, I'm in this commitment forever now. I'm in a contract. Let's say it's a modeling gig. I'm just thinking of all the scenarios that are popping in my head. If you sign with an agent or a modeling agent or a manager, you're under contract. You are under contract until that shit is up. So it's almost like in a way, selling your rights, selling your soul, giving your power away, or having to at least share your power with another or others, corporations, companies, businesses. It's like, I have to do this. You know, it could be someone who's like, why am I getting arranged marriage? It could be someone who's like, I would do something different if I could, but I'm beholden. I am bound to this commitment because I swore into it, or I was born into it, or it's like some sort of like, I have to see this through. But does somebody have to see something through is kind of what I'm getting. Is this something someone has to see through? It could be to the sense of if they don't, they could get thrown in jail. If they don't, they could be sued. If they don't, they could be punished or reprimanded. Fear is keeping someone beholden. Like somebody is like 100% terrified. They are controlled by fear. They may think they're controlled by some sort of commitment or almost like an oath. And maybe so. Maybe that is the case. But deep down, it stems from fear. Fear of really everything. If I were to go against what I owe, if I were to go against my oath, my commitment, I could lose it all, or I could lose my life, or I could lose my freedom. I could get thrown in jail. Someone could be afraid of going to jail here. Someone could be afraid of being punished. Like, let's say someone has a very strict family, a very strict law of some sort that they're under, and they're like, I wish that I could love outside of this, but I am bound to stay here. I cannot go. Again, I'm seeing the Scorpion King. You know, where they had the seer, she could see, the sorceress. If you guys have ever seen the Scorpion King, she was bound, but she also felt bound. But she was only as bound as her physical body was, right? We're only as bound as our physical body is. Once our physical body is no longer present, we're free. Maybe even someone's thinking, I can't get out of this until, it's like, till death do I part? Till death do I leave this earth? It could be a marriage thing. Some of you, there is somebody here who is, they're married. I'm gonna go along those lines because there's a million scenarios where people are bound by things. Where it's like, I have to stay in this. I can't just up and leave. I can't just abandon ship, you know? But again, I go back to fear is controlling that in someone. So it's not so much that an individual here is being loyal to their oath, whatever oath they've taken, whatever they have committed to, they're forced. What did I tell you comes from that? Resentment. Resentment is born from a person who maybe at the time believes that this is something that they should do. They go ahead with something, they do it, or maybe they're born into it and they're forced, but let's talk about it in a marriage sense. And then later on, they realize it's not really what path they want to be on. They would like to switch paths, detour. They want to transform, which I think is logical. We all transform in life. We go through many transformations in life. You can call them changes. I like the word transformation. But it's like, well, I already made this commitment, so I can't live any of the rest of my life or really make any decision outside of this because I'm stuck. Somebody believes that they are stuck and that if they were to pull that snag in the sweater or pull the snag in the pantyhose, everything would fall apart. Everything would be revealed. They would lose everything. What would they do? They could lose their life. I mean, this kind of reminds me, I mean, I know I said I would talk about marriage just to keep it more simple, but it could be like in, you know, actors and actresses and even the government and people who work for them and people who have to sign NDAs and things. It's like, if I don't see this through, they'll take my life. Or if I don't see this through, they'll take everything from me. So it's as if I've lost my life. All right, so let's stay focused. I have a lot to do today and I've got to go take care of my grandmother, but talking about the marriage situation or somebody who's bound by an oath or some sort of contract, or maybe even they believe having children in a situation causes them to be bound. It's like, I want nothing more than to pursue this. I want nothing more than to express this to you. But I have to fulfill some sort of responsibility, or I have to fulfill my duty here. It could be like someone who's in the military, someone who signs up or is active duty in the military, but they don't want to do it anymore. They want out. And then they're like, well, shit, I can't just get out now because now I'm really in deep. I'm in it now. Someone's dug themselves in deep by oaths, promises, contracts, legal agreements. They have dug themselves in, even creating life. They have dug themselves in deep and they think, because I have done this, I cannot detour away. I am sworn by this. I am stuck in this. I think someone believes for the rest of their life, the remainder of their human condition, their human existence here, somebody believes through fear completely has control of someone, that I am now trapped here. That's a really scary place to be. This is why I say that someone is not really feeling very much love right now, because love is the most free thing ever. It is the most free energy. Love isn't contractual. Now, contracts can come in love, but when contracts are involved, and I don't mean legally, but any kind of contract, a soul contract, when a contract is involved, it's like you must fulfill it, you must do this, and it's like you're basically someone who feels that they're being forced. When that happens, the love goes out the window. The loss of self, the loss of self-power, self-worth, self-identity, self-decisions goes out the window. It's like, I know that you want this, but we own you now. Or I know that you want this, but everything that you've decided to do and every decision you've decided to make, you decided that you wanted these things. So now you're basically screwed, being demanded of. And we had another interruption. That's probably about 7 interruptions in this video. Very frustrating. I could scrap it. This is actually the 3rd video I've done since the last video I've posted, and I haven't posted publicly any of the other ones. It's been a consistent energy since that last video. Now I'm gonna say something. I really didn't want to touch on this in this video because, like I said, I have a lot to do today and I have to take care of my grandma, but I'm gonna touch on it. This is my choice. This is only my view. This does not reflect anyone else's choice or anyone else how they run things in their life, okay? I just have to go ahead and give that disclaimer. This is only my choice. I have juggled with the idea for a while opening memberships on my channel. I have juggled with it because, well, there's a million reasons I'm not going to get into why I think it would be a good idea. But there's something about it that's held me back, and I have been sitting with it. I've been talking to God about it, and I'm like, I don't really know what to do. And I've basically come to the conclusion that sit on it. Don't do anything until I am certain. And what I want to say is I've had recent awarenesses come up that it's probably, at least for now, I don't know what the future holds for me, if the future even exists, but that it could be a possibility. But as of now, the reason that I do not move forward with memberships is because it feels to me like it would not only be me being forced to have to produce something that, what if I go through another dark night of the soul and I can't produce, and then people are paying to be a member and I'm not producing? It's, you see what I'm saying? It's like entrapment. It's like being trapped. And then those people, it's like you're indebted. Like you're indebted to people because of that. Or it's almost like some sort of, to me, trap. Not just for my own self, obligation, but to everyone else. See, when I keep it public like this, anyone can click on the channel, anyone can click off. You are not forced to watch me. I am not forced to pump out 3,000 something videos. I'm not forced to put out 12 zodiacs. I'm not forced to produce anything. I go with my soul, I go with my own growth, and if I need rest, I take rest. If I need silence, I take silence. If I need time, whatever that is, I take my time. I love being able to express to people freely and not being forced to do it. Because once I am forced, I begin to resent. I would resent feeling, oh, well, I have to do this because I'll upset people, which is logical. That's logical. Yeah, of course, you pay for something, you want it. But then it's like, is what you're getting truly authentic? And is this person really able to lead from their highest vibration when maybe during a specific time they need to take more time to themselves, they need more rest, they need more them time, so that when they do come to you, you get a person who is very balanced and a person who is not stressed and feels forced. You see what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. Again, I want to reiterate, this is only my view, and this is the only reason I haven't done memberships. Would it make me more money? Absolutely. Do I have children to take care of? Absolutely. But is it good for my soul? At this time, I think the answer is no. And that's this whole message here. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be someone who's married, but I get it stronger than any message here. I definitely think it is. But all the other scenarios I gave, it could be that also. So take it as it resonates for you, but I hope that I'm translating this well and that helped make sense. See what I'm saying? This is why. This is why I don't do certain things. This is why I don't sign contracts. This is why I don't collab. People get offended when you don't collab. You don't grow as fast when you don't collab. But you do. You may not grow on the outside where the world can see you, but you grow in here. At least coming from an I place, I have grown in here for not selling my freedom, for not giving away my time, not giving away my energy, not being forced, not being under contract. I would say I'm not completely at this point in my life, but I am more so than not pretty free. I also, again, this is only my life and my coming from an I place. This does not reflect anyone else. People get offended. This is only me. This is also a reason I will not get married. This is also a reason I will not be in a forced relationship. I'm not saying marriages are forced relationships, but for me, they have been. Because I want my choice. I want my choice. It's not a fear of commitment. It is my right to freedom. It is my right to move about when my soul is called to. If you look at a lot of the ascended masters over the times, most of them were very, very free. And they traveled about. A lot of them traveled on foot. They moved rather slowly, rather methodically, and nothing about their existence on this earth felt or seemed forced. It was smooth. It was a steady growth. It was a steady light being emitted from them. It was calm. It was comforted, comfortable, free. I love freedom. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave this here. I don't want to keep going. It's time to stop it. It's time to end this video. We got the message that we needed. I don't know how this will be received. I'm not sure how people are going to understand, I guess, what message I'm trying to convey. But it only reflects my personal experience and my personal life, my own perspective. Of course, you should have your own and continue to do your own thing, make your own decisions. This is only just me sharing with you my view, my thoughts, and my experience with force and with contracts and with oaths and with memberships and with other forms of control. And I hope that this video offers some sort of enlightenment to someone, even if it's just one person that, you know, I totally get. I get where you're coming from. If this is you, and if not, and it's somebody connected to your energy, I get where they're coming from. I've been there. So I hope that this does help others to see that I understand you're not alone. I get the fear. I get the feeling trapped, feeling obligated, and know that you can, to a degree, change your path. You can. Now, some things you can't. You almost have to just wait it out. Okay, there's certain things, but there are lessons that come from that are like, hey, if you do this in the future, this is the likelihood of what's going to happen. So make sure that what you invest in, who you invest in, what oath you take, what promises you make, what contracts you sign, make sure that it's something that resonates with your soul. Otherwise, you're a prisoner of that decision. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.